Hi guys, welcome back to PERIDOT. Some of you might have heard the story of Otokoto, money ritual killings of 1996, and right now I want us to talk a little bit about the growing menace of Yahoo Plus in our society. I saw this article and I think it's very insightful. It's like an awakening to the society. It's like an awakening, a kind of caution to a lot of young guys out there that just want to get rich quickly. It's not the first time that people want to go diabolic in getting wealth. On 19th September 1996, during the regime of late General Sani Abacha in the city of Owerri, Imo State, that's the eastern part of Nigeria, an innocent 11-year-old boy named Anthony Ikechukwu Okoronkwo was murdered for ritual. The little boy was hawking granules, boiled granules, which was his daily routine. He strolled along selling his granules for peanuts to whoever wanted to buy. When he got to Amakoya area of Owerri, his eyes lit up with joy when a customer beckoned on him, and he approached the customer named Innocent Ike Anyanwu, age 32. The boy was called into the famous Otokoto hotel. I think a lot of you must have heard of that name, Otokoto, and that is synonymous with ritual. The little granite seller was visibly excited since it was an hotel and he felt that a lot of people were going to buy the granite that he was hawking. While waiting, the boy was treated with Coca-Cola. He was treated like a guest, given a bottle of Coca-Cola, and whilst he was drinking this Coca-Cola, not too long, he realized that everything became blurry, and that is how he passed out. And the story is that they picked up this young boy, and with a sharp cutlass they cut off his head, cut off parts of his body, and they took his genitals also. They didn't spare it at all. After butchering the boy and sorting out the organs, they packed his head into a polythene bag and buried his remains, probably the bones. The name of this butcher, the person that did this, is Ike Anyanwu, and he took the polythene bag containing the boy's head and headed for the next destination, to the house of the man who needed the fresh air, the man who is behind all of this. Now you'll be wondering how all of this information leaked. After the grisly murder of the little Okoronkwo by Mr. Innocent Ike Anyanwu, now you will look at the name Innocent, you think he's innocent, but this man is not innocent at all. He left the hotel to deliver the head where it was needed. Then he actually stopped a motorbike, Okada as it's called, to convey him to the place. It was the Okada man named Okada who realized that this man carried a polythene bag that was dripping with fresh blood, and he alerted the police, and the police accosted this man. They intercepted him when he was about entering a Peugeot 504 car. He was going to the residence of a very highly influential figure called Chief Leonard Unaogu at Eziama Ikeduru local government area. That's the eastern part of Nigeria. Like I said, all of these things happened in the eastern part of Nigeria. Upon arriving, he was told that this man traveled out of the state, and he is in Lagos. So Ike Anyanwu had no other option but to return to Owerri with the boy's head. When it was time to take the headless body of Ikechukwu to the local mortuary, there was massive protest by the Owerri people. People came out in thousands to protest the ritual killing of this young boy. Now a lot of people gathered within the hotel premises, and they were waiting for the police to give them more information as regards this ritual murder. While a lot of people were marching here back and forth, news were spreading also about this. It was in the midst of this tension that the local media station made, some might call it miscalculation. They actually showed the image of innocent Ike Anyanwu holding the head of his victim. That's the head of the young boy. Now the goal of the media was to assure the people and assuage public fear, ask the police to help identify the boy, show official transparency, and all of these things. That's why the media did this, all hell broke loose as the enraged people of Owerri went AWire after the image was first broadcasted on the 24th of September, and that is 1990. That's 1996. It was broadcasted. So it became, everybody got crazy. A lot of people got crazy about this. All Owerri residents abandoned their businesses, and all of them gathered at the town's central marketplace. It was there they decided on the next plan of action and outlined their strategies to deal with the Otokoto head hunters. The news spread like wildfire. Every home in Owerri had heard the news, seen the image of Okoronko's head. They saw the grave, and these young boys, some of them unemployed, disgruntled youths, took over the old town and they issued threats to the millionaires in Owerri. From Owerri main market, the riot exploded and spread out. The pattern of destruction was crazy. The rampage crowd first went to the morgue, and from there they rushed to Tokoto's hotel and burnt it to the ground. From there they went to the nearby palatial mansion of Chief Vincent Duru and destroyed his property. His expensive cars were wrecked and Duru himself nearly escaped. From there the crowd split into attack groups and spread out to other sites of the privileged elites and unleashed maximum destruction. The well-known Plaza and stores alongside another hotel, Cheap Bed Hotel, and various businesses linked to the Otokoto and their associates were utterly destroyed. Zubairu-led government later confiscated all the property as recommended by the panel, which was headed by Justice P.C. Onumajuru. From there they rushed to the palace of the traditional ruler, and this is very important, and chairman of the State Council of Traditional Rulers, Eze Onu Egu Nwonke, later indicted alongside Aneke and Abure by the panel of inquiry and burnt down his residence, his petrol station. They also destroyed the king's 15 air conditioners and many of his cars. Now that tells you where it is a tough thing when monarchy is involved in this kind of crime. As you know, most of them they still have these connections with some diabolic things like that. And these crazy angry youths were not finished yet. They were not done yet. From there the crowd trooped. They headed for the residence of former Imo state officials. These administrators were targeted because of what was described as their alleged unwillingness to properly tackle several cases of ritual murder, kidnapping and robbery while in office. The angry rioters only agreed to calm down when the military administrator assured them that a full state level investigation of the incident was going to be launched. Eke Anyanwu, who murdered the boy, was aged 32 and he worked as a gardener inside Otokoto's hotel, of course, while doing some other businesses, killing. At the time of its existence, Otokoto Hotel was located in an upscale area of Owerri. If you are from the eastern part of Nigeria, either from your Imo state or from Owerri, of course, and you are old enough, you might know the story and you know where this hotel was situated. It was a favorite location for the rich and wealthy youths to meet, drink, and have all manners of fun. Duru Hotel was made up of 3 buildings, 5 to 6 stories each behind each other. It was owned by Chief Vincent Duru, the father of Obidizo Duru, the leader of Black Scorpion's secret cult that was responsible for robberies and kidnapping of children in the states. Now you see how a lot of wealth are acquired by a lot of very bad people. Before this horrible incident, the people of Owerri were already very mad at the bizarre actions of some loud, extremely powerful, and obscenely wealthy individuals in the state. These people were highly connected and they oppressed just everyone, and everywhere they went, they oppressed everyone. Rumors were all over the place as they are very dark dealings and even the possibility of ritual murders and killings, but no one really had evidence, substantial evidence yet to, and of course a lot of people will be jittery and afraid. You cannot just stop across people like that. You think everyone believes that they have some strong spiritual power. Whatever the case, these rich people had no really tangible or easily traceable sources of wealth, but they kept on living large, instilling an atmosphere of terror and fear on the Owerri populace. This was how Owerri was described at that time. When the people heard of what happened inside the hotel to the boy, Owerri exploded with anger and resentment that had been piling up for years. For 2 straight days, the people of Owerri trooped out in their towns protesting and rioting. Not even the strong hand tactics of Imo State military administrator Colonel Tanko Zubair could stop them. The administration of the former military governor, Navy Captain James Aneke, has already seen a corrupt 419 base and even complicit in the protection of Otokoto's men. They saw them as a accomplice. That is the administration of former military governor, Navy Captain James Aneke. They simply ran amok, and the national and international media focused on the Owerri riots of 24th to 25th of September 1966, also known as the Otokoto's riot. The people felt they had more than enough. Any property suspected to belong to Otokoto men were set ablaze, from posh hotels to luxury supermarkets, their flashy automobiles, palatial mansions. Everything was destroyed and burnt to the ground. Any suspected member of Otokoto gang was lynched. Prior to the riot, the youthful members of the Otokoto gang and other secret societies, believed to be offshoot of campus secret cults involved in ritual killings, went everywhere, oppressing others with their ill-gotten wealth, making other hard-working youths look clueless and silly. The Republic had no faith in the police, and as a matter of fact, the Commissioner of Police at that time, David Abure, was seen as the personification of corruption, who wined and dined with the evil ones. Now, the investigation following the arrest of Ike Anyanwu, who was remanded in the police custody while awaiting trial, but while he was in the police custody, magic happened. He was killed by food poisoning 4 days after. Now, you know what that means? That means the high and mighty want him to keep quiet, and the only way they could do that is to kill him, and they did that. He killed the boy on Thursday, and by Sunday he was also found dead. But luckily for the interrogators, before he was killed, Ekeanyanwu confessed and mentioned Leonard Ogu as the brain behind the ritual killing syndicate. He confessed that the ritual killing ring was a well-organized machine that specialized in harvesting of human parts and sold them to those interested in using them for rituals and all the usual nonsense they claim to be using it for. He also said it was Ogu who ordered him to get a human head. Report has it that Otokoto saga had been in place for as far back as 1970s. That tells you how dangerous and how tough and how long this thing has been. Confessional statement revealed that no one was spared at Otokoto's hotel. Innocent guests, unsuspecting travelers who lodged at the hotel were drugged or attacked in the middle of their sleep and hacked to death, after which they were cut in pieces for sale. Now that tells you need to be careful. You just don't go to a place somewhere there that you don't have information about and you lodge in there without knowing what's really happening. Some of these hotels are a place where they harvest human parts, so I'm giving warnings out to you guys to be very careful. And of course, you know the trend. I posted a video as regards this, where a young lady was strangled. Of course, no part was taken, but she was strangled and she died. So you have to be very careful. It doesn't matter how shiny these hotels look, some of them could be a place of death. Now, Leonard Unaogu was eventually arrested by the police. When the police arrested him, he lied with a straight face that he never knew anyone called innocent. He has never even been to Owerri when the crime was committed. He said a lot of things, and that he was in Lagos. Wow. Trial started on 9th of December 1966 with Hilary Ngozi Okpara as the first prosecution witness. 9 people testified before Justice S.O. Ekpe, who took over from Justice Gabriel. The court also admitted the confessional statement of innocent Ekeanyanwu. Margaret Acholonu, a reception of the hotel, stated that 2 spots were dug at the hotel premises, and it was from that second one that the body of Okoronkwo was exhumed. She also implicated Chief Duru. She also said that on that fateful day she saw Ekeanyanwu with a black bag, and he told her he was going to his village at Eziama. A Sergeant Sunday told the court he was in the office when Ekeanyanwu was arrested with a fresh human head of the innocent body. Now, I'm not trying to tribalize this. Of course, you know that now this has now spread, apart from being something that you find most of the time from the eastern part of Nigeria, ritual killing, money ritual, and all of those. Of course, you've seen movies on this, but this has spread to the young people now. That is where I'm going to. It has now spread to the young people right now. You find a lot of young chaps involved in Yahoo Plus, and it's simply money ritual. There's nothing like that, nothing different. It's just money ritual that they are involving right now. So this is a menace to the society. It's so dangerous, it's so tough on people. Imagine a young man decide to pick some very important private parts of another human and take it to some baba somewhere so that they can make him get large huge money. And at the end of the day, you don't really see these guys with a lot of them, just probably so two automobiles and some few things. They don't really achieve a lot with these things, and a lot of people begin to wonder, what is the essence of doing this? Why do this? Now let's talk about this Black Scorpion secret cult. After the judgment, the convicts all moved to the Port Harcourt prisons in the middle of February 2003, pending their execution. Prior to the case of Okoronkwo, several children had disappeared in Owerri, never to be found till date. Some were kidnapped. Their wealthy parents will pay ransom. It was so serious that in May 1995, the daughter of Dr. Oko, a physician in the city, was kidnapped by the Black Scorpions. One of the elite secret cult asked the doctor to pay 12,000 euro before the girl will be released. Eventually, the police stormed the hideout of Black Scorpions, and months later, the leader of the cult, Obidizio Duru, who happens to also be the son of Chief Vincent Duru, owner of the Otokoto Hotel, and Amanze Onoa, were both arrested. They were brought before the Imo State Robbery and Firearms Tribunal on the charges of armed robbery, capital offense. Businessman and politician Emmanuel Iwanyanwu was also mentioned in the saga, but he denied ever knowing anything about the case. You know, most of these politicians, they are also involved in this. Either these criminals are in, kind of supporting and also funding their campaign, or there is a way they get power from this. And of course, many of these people are also part of these politics that we have. That's why a lot of things are not in order, you know. So what happened next was nothing but a mockery of justice. Duru and Onowa were treated like royalties in the prison rather than criminals awaiting their death penalty, because they have a lot of money and influence. They got the most liberal visiting privilege, ate food cooked, brought from their homes. They were like lords. And Duru, a PhD holder in psychology from California State University, even impregnated one of his female jailers and did a traditional wedding with her before he completed the case. And while they were incarcerated, the rate of child kidnapping in Imo dropped drastically. In 1997, 6 people were executed by a firing squad following a judgment by Justice Emmanuel. One of these killed was Obidiezo, the son of Vincent Duru, leader of Black Scorpion cult. Where is Otokoto Vincent Duru now? Chief Vincent Duru, alias Otokoto, one of the men convicted in the celebrated case of the ritual murder of September 1996 in Owerri, Imo State, was reportedly hanged. His execution took place on Sunday, November 13, 2016. This was 13 years after the 2003 conviction. This was after government approved the execution warrant. For his properties, the Duru family was also said to have approached Governor Rochas Okorocha over the confiscated property, saying the property belonged to Otokoto Group and not Duru. Okorocha stylishly brushed the matter aside. Each time the issue of returning the confiscated property to the Otokoto family, Owerri people rise and they will protest. So that's why Okorocha did not do anything about it. So now, in conclusion, Nigeria is still in the grips of ritual killers. Almost 2 decades after the Otokoto saga, the same factors that gave birth to the 1996 Otokoto ritual killing are still in place today. Poverty, irrational beliefs in supernatural powers that lead people to believe money can be made from flesh without doing any work, weak, corrupt law enforcement agencies, and a slow super judicial system. The presence of these factors explain why, after bloody Otokoto saga, the country still had faced the Okija and Ogugu Shrine saga in Anambra State and the Soka Forest or of Oyo State. The Nigerian disease is still there, yet to be healed. We must put a stop to the growing menace of get-rich-quick syndrome pervading our society today. Otokoto happened in as far back as 1996, when most of the young men and women involved in Yahoo Plus, ritual money, etc. were not even born. Funny enough, all of those who involve in human rituals do not end well, because the devil has no free gift. So youths, be careful. Say no to blood money. Say no to human killing, human ritual killing. Say no to kidnapping. Say no to shortcut to wealth. That is what I have for you guys now. May I remind you, if you have not done so, to tap on that subscription button and also the red notification icon bell below, so that you will be notified whenever new videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.